these books really did make me want to pick up a book and read. You know my slump is bad when I am not even reading on my Kindle. That calls for emergency. That emergency meant putting a pause on my BBB. Hello! Welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the title, it is another book haul. Surprise, surprise. But we're also going to add a few things to it because I want to. Before we get into it, let's address the situation right here. I truly wanted to wait until I was fully healed from this before I film a video, but this is already a week into what looks to be a cold sore. So if I were to wait until this completely heals from my face, because I don't trust my body heals very slowly. Whatever grows on my face, it loves to stay for a while. So that is why I have to put you through this if you are watching this video. Don't look too closely, but I do have to zoom in later and you'll know why. But please understand that I would appreciate it if we don't talk about it and we just look past it. So on to the video. Let's move on from this topic and talk about these beautiful glasses that I'm wearing. I want to thank Pair Eyewear for sponsoring this video. These gorgeous clear frames that I am wearing, did you see this? How about this? Yeah. Thank you, Pair Eyewear, for sponsoring today's video. I go through phases of wanting to switch up my glasses because sometimes I just want to change things up. That is where Pair Eyewear comes in. I'm currently wearing a clear frame. You can never go wrong with putting on a clear frame because it looks like you're not wearing glasses, but you're wearing glasses. A clear frame. It speaks for itself. I chose the Otis. This is a rectangular rounded frame. Absolutely obsessed with this. Every time I take off my glasses and I put it back on, I feel like a completely different person. But you know what else can change the entire look? Not just wearing glasses, but wearing different frames. You can never go wrong with wearing clear frames, which is why I picked this one out as my base frame. And you're wondering, what are you talking about? What do you mean base frame? Like I said, a base frame, because we have a top frame. This totally just changed the entire look. Never in a million years would I pick out a glasses that are purple frames. I personally do not want to wear colorful frames every day, which is why Pair Eyewear is so amazing, because you can change out your top frame. Like, how insane is this? This one is Moonlit Evening. It has flowers, the moon. It's basically moonlit evening in a frame. It is such a pretty frame. This one is giving me fantasy. It's also giving Studio Gilby with the mushrooms on the frame. But when I don't feel like wearing this one, what other options do I have? I can choose to wear this one. It's called the Ornate Leaf. It's a black frame with ornate leaves on the corners. The moment I saw this frame, I thought of Once Upon a Broken Heart. Last but not least, and this is probably my favorite top frame from the collection. This one is called Romantic Reads. The name already speaks for itself. This has a pink background with books. Immediately after seeing this frame, I thought of a different version cover for Love and Other Words with the pink background and the books. This is that frame that I'm going to be wearing when I am reading fun romantic comedy books. This is what it screams for me. I am completely obsessed with these three frames. I love my picks, and there are so many more in their collection. It's not flimsy too, which I am very surprised with. They have a thickness, however it completely blends in to the base frame that it doesn't feel like something is sticking out, which is pretty impressive and very seamless. And Pair Eyewear just makes it so easy for you to choose and pick out what you want to wear and what looks good on you. Not only are there so many options for your top frames, there are also a lot of options for your base frame. They have the virtual try on feature for you to pick out the frame that you think looks best on your face You can also build on top of your base frames. You can choose to add your prescription, which is what I did. On top of that, you can also add a blue light filtering onto your glasses, which is what I did as well, because I'm constantly staring at my screen. If it's not my laptop, it's my phone. Let's reduce the eye strain. Once you find your base frame, there are so many options on Pair Eyewear for you to choose from. Each of the top frames are $25, and it's so much cheaper, especially if you want to change up your glasses but you don't want to buy a new pair. You have the option to select a top frame that you want and put it over your glasses and just change up. Pair Eyewear has made it so easy for you to shop your glasses online, so don't wait. Click the link in the description box for 15% off your first pair. Don't forget to check out the new limited frames in their Love Book collection, and we might just be matching with our glasses. Again, thank you Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get into the video. For now, I'm going to keep it as a clear frame until I want to change it up, because that's one of the perks of Pair Eyewear. You can choose. To the book haul, I know that I said I was gonna put myself on a BBB, I'm buying book ban. I am still on the book ban, but there's a good reason why I broke a ban for one day to buy 3 of these books, and it's because the Barnes & Noble that I went to was closing and they had this massive sale. I obviously needed to take advantage of it. The 3 books that I got from Barnes & Noble are fantasy books. When it comes to bookstores, fantasy and romance are the 2 things that I gravitate towards. The first book that I picked up is actually a sequel, and I don't have the first book. It is The Crow Rider by Callan. This is the author. This is a sequel to The Storm Crow. I don't have that. I wasn't able to find it in the store, and when I searched online, it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I might read that there and then pick up this book, or I might purchase the paperback in the future when I read it. This one gave me fierce, badass female protagonist. I mean, Thea is the last Crow Rider. That sounds fabulous. That sounds like something that is right up my alley. I didn't want to read the full synopsis because, like I said, this is a sequel. I only read that first line and I immediately wanted to pick that up and get the book. All I know is that she is the last Crow Rider, and a storm will come, an empire will fall. That's all that needs to be said. Just so you know, the first section that I went to when I was at Barnes & Noble was the romance section, but a lot of the good books were taken. Shelves were either very empty or very messy, so it was really hard to find books. The fact that I was able to find these fantasy romance books, it's a feat. So the next one I have is When Stars Come Out by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a YA fantasy book. I didn't know that Scarlett St. Clair wrote YA. I have more books from this author. Those are spicy books. I have the Hades and Persephone series and the Vampire series. I don't know if this is supposed to be a part of a series or if it's a standalone, but this is the only book that is out. I will have to read it to find out if it is. Let me read you the line that made me want to buy this book. Honora Sylvie can see the dead and turn spirits into gold coins. 2 things she would prefer to keep secret as she tries to lead a normal life at her new school. After all, she didn't change her identity for nothing. I am a simple person. Just that alone is enough to intrigue me. I have no idea the plot, but I know that the female lead is special. That's all the information that I need. I had to go change the battery. Back to this one. Seriously, that is all I need to want to buy a book. Just to know that the female lead is special in her own way and what makes her the female lead. If it sounds good, I will want to read it. And this is something that I really need, is just to feel motivated again, because I am just in the biggest book slump. I truly have not picked up a book since last year when I was just feeling disgusted and sick. For the final days of 2023 up to now I just have not picked up a book. So going to Barnes & Noble to find books and actually feeling motivated again, that is why I broke my BBB. I just needed to get into that mood again. I put off a lot of books that were on my TBR. I just did not feel motivated. So going to the bookstore and being surrounded by books and finding ones that I wanted to take home with me, it definitely made me want to pick up a book and read again. And so I felt it was necessary. The last book that I got, I want to put this one on because I feel like I match. Anyway, this was the last book that I decided that I will get, and it also was the one that just gave me that rush of emotions. Coming here, it was exactly what I needed to get back into that reading mood. It's not even a synopsis. I think this is a dialogue between the female lead and the male lead. And I was standing there holding this book and reading it. It just brought me back to this 2020 space when I started to read again. The cover also was really gorgeous. These are the 3 books that I got, and the colors are very similar, and these are all fantasy books as well. If there are 2 things that can bring me back into a reading mood, it is fantasy and most likely a sports romance. In this scenario, it is definitely fantasy. These books really did make me want to pick up a book and read. You know, my slump is bad when I am not even reading on my Kindle. That calls for emergency. That emergency meant putting a pause on my BBB. After feeling the emotions from this, I did go back to continuing the Kindle book that I was reading, and it is rule number 5. I will have it right here. Moving on to the rest of the books. These books I actually got for my birthday and Christmas, so I did not buy this, but I want to thank my cousin who bought these for me. You know who you are. So the first one that she got me is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I had this on my wish list for the longest time. This is really giving that rom-com read that I feel like I should be bringing this one. The colors might not match, but the theme, the overall theme is there. So for this one, it says, "You are cordially invited to witness the worst best man get what he deserves. A wedding planner left at the altar." Yeah, the irony isn't lost on Carolina Santos either. She has to collaborate with the best, parentheses, make that worst man from her own failed nuptials. Oh, wait a minute. Marketing expert Max Hartley is determined to make his mark with a coveted hotel client looking to expand its brand. Then he learns he'll be working with his brother's whip smart, stunning, absolutely off-limits ex-fiance, and she loathes him. Oh, we're gonna get an enemies to lovers. Y'all, how did I not know this? And this was on my wish list. Enemies to lovers. I'm so happy. Next one, Maybe One, Maybe Twice by Allison Rose Greenberg. This cover is very familiar, filled with the romance and angst that define the years you come to know yourself. And spanning 2 decades, Maybe Once, Maybe Twice is a novel of second chances and finding your own way. This is not a rom-com. This is totally going to be emotional. True love deserves a second chance. Wow, that is short but powerful. This one I feel like I'm gonna have to be in a sad mood if I want to read, or if I want to feel the invisible hurt that the characters in this book will feel. Love that. The next 2 are part of a series, and these are the first 2. This one is The Prison Healer, and she also got me The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. So this comes first, this comes second. I don't even know what this book is about. Here at Zalindov, the only person you can trust is yourself. This one I'm going to wear my ornate leaves because the ornate leaves matches the cover. I'm really stretching it here, but it's vines, leaves, same thing. So this one is about 17-year-old Kiva Meriden, who spent the last 10 years fighting for her survival in the notorious death prison Zalindov, working as the prison healer. When the rebel queen is captured, Kiva is charged with keeping the terminally ill woman alive long enough for her to undergo the trial by ordeal. A series of elemental challenges against torments of air, fire, water, and earth, assigned to only the most dangerous of criminals. I swear, one of the best things about fantasy is when there are tournaments. Like, I love that. That is why I absolutely loved the Throne of Glass series when I read it back in middle school. So I have these two. Next one, One Night Only by Catherine Walsh. This one totally is not the right frame for it. We're gonna keep it simple and clear for now. It's her best friend's wedding and she's next to her one night stand. Awkward. Who could have predicted this? Being at the same wedding in Ireland, there's reason one night stands are one night stands. You're not supposed to see each other again, especially not when you're the maid of honor and he's the groom's brother. Wow, I just noticed that I have two books that are wedding themed. I'm just breezing through my book haul, but this is the last one. I wanted to get my hands on this because first of all, the color of this book, it's beautiful. It's like so simple but beautiful. I love this color so much. This palette is everything. And also, it's by Lauren Asher. This is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I keep seeing this everywhere. I need to finish one more book in my Dreamland Billionaires, then I can start this series. And this one is apparently the Lakefront Billionaires. So we are not done with billionaire romances. So that is it for all the books in today's book haul. I'd have a total of 9 books and it's a lot, and I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful. So thank you to my cousin who got me most of these, and also to myself for getting myself these. On to the books that I want to read this year. This is not a monthly TBR. This is books I want to read this year. I want to start a couple of series this year and also finish a couple of them as well. I have a whole year to do this. I might put these in my monthly TBR, but right now these are just books that I want to read this year, and I don't think that is asking for a lot because I have over 330 days. The first one is a thick one. It is Binding Their Teen by Chloe Walsh. I really wanted to start the Boys of Tommen series for realsies and get into this one and feel all the emotions that I know I will feel. It's going to happen this year. Let me know if you want reading vlogs to this series. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna cry reading that. The next one is Lost Kingdom by Laura Black. I put this in my end of the year TBR. Clearly it's in this video because I did not read it. If you want to throw yourself into a fantasy series, you might want to go and check out Lost Kingdom. This is about a girl named Raven who wakes up without her memories. The only clue she has about herself is a map tattooed on her hand. If that sounds like something you are interested in, this book does come out on January 17th. Make sure to go check that out. And I will make it a goal of mine to read it in January. This is a series that I want to finish this year, and it is the Kingdom of the Wicked series. These two, I need to read these. I started this series last year in my Reading a Fantasy for a Week video. I want to finish this. That is not all. I also want to finish, ta-da, these two, The Ballad of Never After and A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. So I have these two to also read as well, so I can get to the end of Evangeline's story. There were a few, I wouldn't say spoilers, but I did see in the synopsis or like a sentence review that there was going to be some love triangle. I hope I read that wrong, because according to what I read in Once Upon a Broken Heart, it was not supposed to be like that. Like, I don't there's only one person for Evangeline, and if you read the book and you watch my video, you know who I'm talking about. There's only one person for Evangeline. I said it here, okay? I am not about to be getting no second lead syndrome. That is not happening. But I did read your comments that the series gets better, which is why I kind of have high expectations for these.
At the review.
A love triangle.
Oh no.
This one, along with Lost Kingdom, I had in my end of the year TBR. But again, that slump. This is managed by Kristen Callahan, VIP series number 2. I just need to read this. Like, the moment I'm ready to pick up a book, it will either be this one or Lost Kingdom. There's no other option for me. I could read this one on Kindle because I do own an ebook version of this. There is a standalone series I want to finish this year, and it is the Knock 'em Out series. So I have these as books I want to read this year: Things We Hide from the Light and Things We Left behind. Of these two, I am more interested in this one because Lucian and Sloane, they have that history, that past. Let's add this to the stack. It's growing. That hurts. Holy. And the next two books I have are from authors that I've never read before, but I do have books that I look forward to theirs. Wait, hold on. Let me try to see how to say this sentence correctly. These two authors have books that are coming out this year that I want to read, but because I own a book from these two authors already, I want to read these before I buy those, just to get an idea of their writing style. But knowing myself, I probably will get it even before I read these two, but that's the plan. And one of them is actually coming out next month in February. That author is Anne Liang, and this one is This Time It's Real. This is a young adult fake dating romance. The female lead in this one, Eliza, she wrote an essay about meeting the love of her life, and it goes viral. She gets an opportunity at an internship and she has to keep it a secret that her essay was a lie. So she strikes up a deal with this actor. Hold on, let me get this right. With a famous actor in her class. She will help him write his college applications. In return, he will pretend to be her boyfriend. Like, I mean, what could go wrong, right? So I want to read this one this year because this author has another book called I Hope It's Not Real or something like that I was looking forward to. Let me get the name of it so you will know what I'm talking about. It's called I Hope This Doesn't Find You, and I will have it right here. This one is kind of an academic / enemies to lovers situation, and it's young adult. The plan is to read this and see if I like this author's style of writing before I decide to get the other one, but really I might just get this one before I read this one because I'm giving myself a whole year to do this. The next one I have is called The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. A woman discovers the father of the child she is nannying may be her biggest, only fan in this steamy contemporary romance. Intriguing. It's already intriguing. The book that I came across that is not out yet but will be out I think in July is called The Game Changer. It looks to be a hockey romance, so you already know. Hockey romance, say less. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in for another video. You are all amazing, and thank you once again to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring this video. Remember to click the link in the description to get 15% off your first pair, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.